8. Dissociated and Associated Chapter 8 Pali versions. Pali English version and Pali Devanagari version translated by U. Narada Chapter 8. Dissociated and Associated 2 questions and answers 317. Matter aggregate is dissociated from these states. With how many aggregates, with how many bases and with how many elements are those states associated? With none. 318. Feeling aggregate is dissociated from these states. Perception aggregate. Mental formation aggregate. Consciousness aggregate. States which are causes of lamentation. States which are not causes of lamentation are dissociated from these states. With how many aggregates, with how many bases and with how many elements are those states associated? With none. Mnemonic cognizable base, cognizable element, again life faculty, mentality materiality. 6 bases, birth, aging, death, 2 triplets. Those states are not included. 7 states from the first lesser intermediate couplets, 10 clusters. Again 14 greater intermediate couplets, 6 last couplets. These also are not included. All these 47 states are not included in this negative chapter together with chapter 14. Explanation of the methods and charts of chapters 8 and 14. Subject matter. 324 states which are dissociated by planes, by classes, by times and by continuity form the subject matter of these 2 chapters. Here the states that are dissociated from the state of inquiry and the states that are associated with the above dissociated states are considered. This method can be applied only to states that are pure materiality, nibbana and mental aggregates, and to those states which involve both materiality and mentality but are dissociated. Out of the 324 states, 97 belong to the internal and 227 to the external states of inquiry. All the states of inquiry are not mentioned in Chapter 8, which has only 2 questions and answers. The reason is that all of them give the same negative answer, i.e. with none. However, they are mentioned in Chapter 14, to which reference can be made. Some of them have been included here so as to show clearly the states that are taken as these states dissociated states. Suffering, truth and supramundane mental groupings are dissociated by planes. The 9 great becomings are taken as these states in turns because they are also dissociated by planes. But as explained in Chapter 6, since materiality and materiality are not dissociated, when percepted becoming is the state of inquiry, non-percepted becoming cannot be taken as these states. So also with 5 aggregate becoming, 1 aggregate becoming cannot be taken as these states. However, with pure mentality as the state of inquiry, such as 4 aggregate becoming and neither perception nor non-perception becoming, non-percepted becoming and 1 aggregate becoming, which are pure materiality, are respectively taken as these states. These states. The rules for determining these states are as follows. When materiality or nibbana is the state of inquiry, the dissociated 4 mental aggregates are taken as these states and later as those states. Since the latter have no associated states, the answer is with none. With mental factors such as feeling aggregate and so on, which are associated with all kinds of consciousness, and with 89 types of consciousness such as consciousness aggregate, the dissociated states, materiality and nibbana, are taken as these states. With mental factors such as origin, truth and so on, which are not associated with all kinds of consciousness, and with one of the 7 consciousness elements such as I consciousness element and so on, the dissociated mentality, together with materiality and nibbana, are taken as these states. With rebirth becoming, where both materiality and mentality are involved, the dissociated mental states are taken as these states. How to read the chart. Matter aggregate is taken as illustration. Matter aggregate is dissociated from these states. With how many aggregates, with how many bases and with how many elements are those states associated? With none. The kinds of answers. They are all the same, i.e. With none. Chapter 14. Here the states that are dissociated from the state of inquiry as in Chapter 8 are classified and unclassified under the aggregates, bases, and elements. The asterisk shows that Nibbana is not classified under the aggregates. How to read the chart. Matter aggregate is taken as illustration. Matter aggregate is dissociated from these states. Under how many aggregates, under how many bases and under how many elements are those states classified? They are classified under 4 aggregates, under 2 bases and under 8 elements. Under how many are they not classified? They are not classified under 1 aggregate, under 10 bases and under 10 elements. The kinds of answers. There are 9 kinds of answers. The numbers of states of inquiry having the same answers are given below.